In 1685, Louis XIV had chased Carl Fabergé's Huguenot ancestors out of France. A century and a half later, Carl's father, Gustave, opened a modest jewelry firm in St. Petersburg in Russia. From its very founding, St. Petersburg became a city of every dream and every desire. St. Petersburg, a symbol of the ambition of the Tsar Peter the Great, who in 1703 decided to establish on the mouth of the Neva River a new capital out of nothing, a capital open towards the west. A city constructed by architects come from Europe. To people his city, the Tsar ordered aristocrats and wealthy bourgeois to leave Moscow and come here to build sumptuous palaces. And to establish themselves in a place where in winter, everything is covered in snow and ice. And in summer, the sun never sets. Over the decades, St. Petersburg had become an elegant city that rivaled the major capitals of Europe. With the return of fine weather, parties and balls resumed. Like the aristocracy, the bourgeoisie also had fun and danced till they were out of breath. No expense was spared, and the top jewelers embarked on a creative battle to attract a wealthy, demanding, and often whimsical clientele. The joyous works of Fabergé could only be born in this city. In 1861, in order to complete his son's training, Gustave sent Carl on a grand tour of Europe. He discovered the great jewelry houses and visited the major museums of Frankfurt, London, Paris, Rome, Florence, and Naples. Soon after his return to St. Petersburg, Carl began working with the Hermitage Museum, where he studied Scythian artifacts discovered during archaeological digs in Crimea. The family workshop began producing copies of this exceptional jewelry. Carl tried to establish relations with the Imperial Cabinet. He knew that contacts might open the door to prestigious orders, often linked to the history of the empire and the life of the Romanovs. In 1866, for the wedding of Tsarevich Alexander and Princess Dagmar, the Imperial Cabinet called on the House of Fabergé. When Carl took over the firm, its production was fairly ordinary. But the young jeweler's talent, coupled with fate, would create the conditions for the house's success. On March 13, 1881, Tsar Alexander II was the victim of an assassination attack and died from his wounds several hours later. The Tsarevich Alexander succeeded him under the name of Alexander III. The new imperial couple would play a major role in the saga of the House of Fabergé. At the 1882 Pan-Russian exhibition held in Moscow, the copies of Scythian jewelry were noticed by the Tsar. Fabergé was awarded the gold medal. The House of Fabergé was a family business. Carl was joined by his younger brother, Agathon. The qualities of the two men complemented each other. Agathon was overflowing with creativity, and Carl was a visionary entrepreneur. Together, they would diversify the firm's production, enter the gift industry, call on the creativity of designers from various workshops, and manufacture stunning objects, thus reshaping the entire jewelry market. In Russia, Easter is the most important Christian holiday. The Eastern Orthodox Church marks the event with more pomp than for any other religious festival. The egg is the symbol of the resurrection of Christ. In 1885, Alexander III placed an order with Carl Fabergé for a gift for his wife. He wanted to give her a very special Easter egg, what would become the historical hen egg. Fabergé designed a gold egg covered in a fine coat of white matte enamel. It measured just over 6 centimeters long. It opened to reveal a number of surprises. Firstly, a gold sphere, then a hen with finely carved feathers made in different colored golds. The eyes were encrusted with rubies. Inside, the hen concealed a tiny imperial crown and a ruby pendant, both of which have been lost or were stolen after the revolution of 1917. The treasures of Fabergé aroused envy and desire. The Empress Maria Feodorovna was so overjoyed that Alexander informed Fabergé that for every Easter, he should deliver a different egg. The years of the imperial couple and those of the nation would thus be punctuated and symbolized by these gifts. The Renaissance egg of 1894 was a kind of macabre omen. The last gift Alexander would make to his darling Minnie, because later in the year, he would die of kidney failure. Legend has it he was stricken with the disease after the derailing of the imperial train. The Tsar supposedly held up the roof of the imperial car to stop it from crushing his family. The Renaissance egg is a symbol of eternity. It's carved in milky agate on a gold and polychrome enamel base. 2 lions' heads adorn the extremities. The shell is mounted with precious stones. The year 1894 is encrusted on the top in diamonds. The surprise it contained has disappeared. Fabergé's invoice mentions pearls. Perhaps there were a necklace and a bracelet inside. Another hypothesis involves the resurrection egg. This figure of Christ with 2 angels may have been contained within the Renaissance egg. The subjects are coherent, but the 2 pieces don't fit together perfectly.